It wasn't a few days in the hospital or my car. It was both my legs, below the knee, gone. Instead of seeing my life flash before me, all I saw was my future waiting to be fulfilled. Though the price to pay would be high, it's been worth it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sub2 Club channel. Today we have Marco. Thank you for joining. Before we get into the car, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Thanks for having me on your channel, man. Yeah, I guess I've been into cars ever since I was a little kid, and always been into Z cars, as you can see. But I started time attacking in about 2016 was when I first started, and I was kind of like sort of relaxed and just giving it a shot, seeing if it was something for me and if I'd like it, and I ended up really liking it. But yeah, I've been doing that for the past like 6 years.
Okay.
In Nissan Challenge with this 370Z that you see behind me. I had some good success. I won Class 3 2 years in a row, and currently competing in Class 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did you even like get into cars initially?
Initially, it was really just my dad had a 280Z.
Okay.
So for me, like as a young toddler, like 4 or 5 years old, I remember that car. It was bright orange. And you know, the classic Z shape and a very classic sports car shape. So for me, that's what a sports car is and was and will. That's what it will forever be.
Yeah.
So just like cemented in my head, like this is what a sports car should be like, and I've just been in love with cars ever since.
Okay. How did you find like track days, and how did you like sign up for the first one?
So ironically, the first time I heard about track days was probably in the early 2000s when I started thinking about doing stuff like this. Like I started looking into autocross and things. I didn't have my Z for a couple years into the early 2000s, but I had a Z34 kind of similar to the one sitting next to the 370Z. But it had a bunch of problems, so I didn't have the confidence in it. So at first I heard about track days, but then I just never went. Money was tight, starving student. Yep. So, you know, it's either you eat ramen or a cup of noodles. So yeah, I didn't get the bug until later on. So I heard about it around the time when I got my first 370Z in 2010. And I heard about Nissan Challenge, and by way of Corner 3 Garage and Corner 3 Motorsports. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably get into this, because I'm sure I would really enjoy it, and I'm sure I would really have fun, and I was right.
Yeah. Have you always had Z cars then?
Not always. There was a period of about my first Z I got rid of, I think in 2002, 2003. And I didn't get back in another Z car till 2010.
Okay.
So yeah, it was almost like a decade where I was driving around in 4-bangers. So front wheel drive 4-bangers.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No. Oh yeah, no. I had a '99 Mitsubishi Eclipse, which was actually a nice car. Looked really nice. I didn't do anything to it. I didn't modify it. But it came with OZ F1 styled wheels. Yeah. It had I think it had some other tweaks to it. It came with Sparco pedals, ironically. So I learned how to heel and toe in that car. The only problem was it wasn't reliable. I had problems with crank walk, and water pumps kept going out on me. It was kind of a pain in the butt. And then after that, I had a Scion TC for about 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just always wanted a Z, so obviously you
came back to it.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Do you have a dream car?
Jeez, do I have a dream car? I mean, when I was looking at sports cars, when I was ready to buy a 370Z, I saw the Nismo body kit for this car, and I was like, okay, that's as close to dream car as I'm gonna get, you know, being affordable, right?
Yeah.
Without going to something like a Porsche or, you know, a Ferrari.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, hey, that's good enough for me. And just everything about the way the car looked just reminded me of it. It gave me that inspiration that Nissan, the look that Nissan gave to its Super GT cars. So I was like, that looks kind of like that, and the styling is there. It's got that aggression, but you know, you modify it, and you could get it pretty close. You know.
What year is this 370Z?
So this is a 2011 370Z. Originally started out as a sport touring model. Most people see the car and they see like the body kit on it. They assume it's a Nismo, but it's not. So it doesn't have the small power bump that the Nismo has.
How much more power does the Nismo have?
It's not a huge amount. It's like they say it's about, I think, 18 horsepower.
Okay.
And I feel like traditionally when you take a non-Nismo and a Nismo and you put them on the dyno, you do see that difference.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So what do we have going on?
All right. So I guess we'll just go from the front. So
sure.
All the way to the back.
Yeah.
So Nismo front end, finite element canards.
Okay.
I need to get one repaired so I can put the second set back on. One of them took a little damage. I've got a Racebred Components splitter, which I had Charles make for me, and I went ahead and did the mounting and everything. So like I was telling you, I put a lot of work into it.
Okay.
And this is probably one of the things that I'm most proud of is how sturdy it is.
Oh, yeah.
You can really lean on it. I've got VMR wheels for the street, but I run Weds on the track.
Okay.
AO52s currently. These are Fly One Motorsports RS fenders.
Okay.
That's what they're called. I love this piece. Really just makes the car kind of pop.
Yeah.
I'm running Sunline Auto carbon side skirts.
Okay.
So those are really nice looking. Probably need to re-clear them at some point. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, my door number.
Okay.
I'm running door number 28. This was from ZCon. I went last year, but my Nissan Challenge number is right there. So my cousin used to race motorcycles in Ecuador, and he passed away a few years ago. So he also did the livery for my helmet.
Nice.
And he had his own vinyl wrap business.
Okay.
So he decided he wanted to do that, and he did a great job on it. And he was able to make the design before he passed away. So I got it done here, and then I decided to run his number in honor of his memory.
That's great.
Yeah. What else? So yeah, as you can see, I've got an Ecuadorian flag, an American flag, my name. I got this tech inspection sticker from Vara. I went to the race school in 2020 and was a graduate, so I have like a provisional license with them.
Nice.
So if I run a few races with them, then it'll be like a full-blown license.
Okay.
So that's kind of what's going on there. Guess we'll keep going.
Sure.
We've got a Nismo V2 rear end bumper.
Yeah.
Which
Love
I
it.
really like. I feel like it flows really well with those fenders. It's a nice look. Tomei titanium exhaust.
Nice.
Ings +1 wing from Japan. This was really tough to get, especially during COVID, because that's when it came in. I ordered it before COVID though. So let's see. These are my Home Depot end plates.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Yep.
Aluminum or?
These are like sheet metal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went and got these, and I kind of figured out that, you know, a wing is a wing, but end plates can make a big difference in terms of the downforce that the wing generates. It can actually increase the efficiency of the wing without increasing drag. So I went for a larger end plate than what I had, and so far it's been pretty good. It's just a little heavy, I think, is all. What else? I guess we can talk about the interior now, because
Sure.
so if we look on the inside, it's pretty much gutted.
Can I open?
Yeah, sure. It's gutted. I've got a saw belt seat. I've got a Works Bell quick release saw belt steering wheel. Over on the center console, we have a master cutoff switch.
Okay.
My yaw sensor kill switch is on the left.
Yaw sensor kill switch?
Yeah. So that turns off basically some of the more advanced functions of the traction control system. So obviously there's the button that you can hit in the car that turns off traction control.
Oh,
but
the,
it's not
the factory.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not completely off.
Okay.
So when you flip that switch, you've basically disabled it entirely. There's still ABS still functions when you flip that switch, but at least you're not gonna have the weird the vehicle dynamic control, the VDC kicking in where it tries to brake on individual wheels when it detects slippage. So it won't do that anymore.
Okay.
Let's see what else. So we got the steering wheel. Oh, I've got a fire suppression kit, so that's mounted on the A pillar over there. So there's the pull handle. The bottle is behind the driver's seat.
Okay.
But it's got 3 nozzles. There's one on the roll bar, behind the roll bar. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's right next to behind the GoPro mount.
Yep.
There's one in the footwell where the driver sits, and then there's one in the engine bay.
Cool. Cool. And that's required for the Vara.
For Vara, yeah, exactly.
So I'm just curious. The stock car comes with the. Does the stock car come with the LSD?
VLSD.
VLSD. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it has some kind of control that uses brakes as traction control.
Right.
So with an aftermarket one, is it pretty common to kill that TCS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, if you want to get the most out of this car, you really need that kill switch.
Okay.
Because the traction control is going to intervene. It's just too invasive. So if you don't have the kill switch and you turn off traction control, it's at least going to allow you to spin the wheels when you get on the throttle.
Okay.
Like coming out of the corners.
Yeah.
But like, let's say it detects that you're starting to slide. Like if you're you're starting to initiate a slide going into a corner, that's when the VDC does the braking thing. I
see.
And then that kills your momentum. And on top of that, it can actually cause you to understeer and go off if you're not ready for it. So the kill switch is kind of definitely you got to do if you're tracking 370Z.
Is that same on Z33 or Z30? Yeah, Z33 350Z as well, or
not on the base models, from what I understand.
Okay.
The base models didn't have the VDC on there, so I think the only ones that had it were the higher trim ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget which packages those are because I didn't have one. So.
All right. It looks like you have track spec.
Oh
vents.
Yeah, the hood vents. So John hit me up a few years back, and they were looking to get a guinea pig, and I volunteered. So
pop the hood.
Pop the hood? Pop the hood.
Oh, I forgot to mention the AIM Solo too.
Oh yeah.
Now I have that hard mounted to this carbon plate.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So that was something I did recently.
Okay.
So basically I got tired of my AIM Solo falling off from the ram mount that you see over there in the middle. So now I have it hard mounted to this carbon plate, which is hard mounted to the column. And so now I'm running this sort of as a dash replacement.
Okay.
So I'm using the speedo and the tack that's on here, and then these act as shift lights.
Okay.
So these tell me when to shift.
Nice.
And then but it also shows me timing information too. So every time I cross the start finish line, it shows me that. So now I have that there, and I don't have to worry about it falling, and I have the information right in front of my face.
And it blinks for you.
Yeah, and it blinks for me. Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, sorry. All right.
All right, so under the hood, I mean, it's nothing too fancy. Just some cold air intakes, still in Gen 3 cold air intakes. Pretty standard for this car when somebody does bolt-ons. It's tuned by UpRev. So this is something that's really cool, is their tunes are now carb legal. So just FYI.
Yeah.
So it's a carb legal intake, carb legal tune.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm running a lightweight battery. So John from Corner 3 actually turned me on to this brand, and I didn't know anything about them. So EarthX is the brand. These batteries are really light, but even more so, they're extremely sturdy.
Okay.
And they can take a beating, so like they can discharge, and you know, you can charge them back up and they'll still keep running.
Okay.
So,
what is the cold cranking amp, do you know?
I think it says it on there. 420.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, 420. So it's actually, you know, reasonably high.
And how much does it weigh?
I think these weigh, I want to say it's 7 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's 7 pounds.
Oh, good.
So they're pretty lightweight, and they're, like I said, they're pretty strong. So you don't have to worry about some of the other problems you have with other lithium batteries. And one thing I didn't know was that IndyCar actually runs these batteries in their cars. That's why John recommended them. He's like,
if it's good enough for Indy cars, it's good
should
enough
be good
for
enough
us.
for us. Yeah, definitely. Exactly.
What's the price point on those?
They're expensive. Yeah, I think it was like somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 or $300 at the time.
That's not terrible.
Not too terrible, but you know, definitely pricier than some other options out there. But a good battery. Definitely a good battery.
Good.
So other than that, yeah, I don't really have anything else under the hood that's really too notable.
You know what I find notable is you still have AC?
I did up until about what was it, like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So the compressor, there's no more AC compressor.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought that was AC line.
Yeah, some of the lines are still there.
Okay.
But yeah, I had that taken out when I had the cooling system redone, which I forgot to mention. So I no longer have a factory radiator in here. Now I have a Coyo.
Okay.
Rack. So I had some overheating problems last year, and they were getting so bad to the point where I couldn't do more than like a couple laps, and it would overheat. So we pulled all that out, put in a Coyo, ripped out the compressor.
For someone that may be looking into getting into a track day with the 370Z,
Yeah.
what's the first thing you would recommend?
First thing, definitely invest in good fluids.
Okay.
So like get yourself some good brake fluid, number one, clutch fluid, do a good oil change on the car. If you have a differential, do your differential fluid. Let's see what else. Coolant's fine if you're factory. You shouldn't have to worry about that too much.
I see.
So do those things. And if you're like a serious driver, like you know you're gonna push and you're gonna drive in the summertime, get an oil cooler. Okay. Absolutely. Like get the biggest one you can find. And standard for these guys, we usually get like the 34 rows. 34 rows, C-Trab core.
Okay.
There's a number of different places you can get them from, but that's definitely a necessity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's yours mounted?
My oil cooler is mounted down here. So it's on the driver's side right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All blacked out. So
Yeah.
Kind of tough to see.
Yeah. I love how this car is street legal.
Yeah, technically it is. I mean, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I had Randy Rodriguez, the designer of this car, sign the strut tower. So Z-Con last year, he was there. So he signed it. I had him sign it while we were doing the autocross event. Okay. And the funny story was that my automatic car, he signed it while I was at a car show, Z-Car show in Orange in like 2013 or 2014. But he signed it on the other side of the strut tower bar. And when I sold it, I sold it with the strut tower.
Yeah.
So I got him to re-sign it again, so that was really cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tell me about your brakes.
Okay, so brakes, we've got just your factory 370Z Akabono calipers. So these are the sport calipers. The base calipers are definitely, you know, a little under braked. So these are good. They're a little heavy, and they seem to last a good amount of time. Rotors, I'm on Stop Tech slotted. Okay. And brake pads are Endless CCRG.
Okay. And the rears?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So brakes are definitely not one of the weak points of this car.
Yeah, they're good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Is there anything you want to say to the audience?
I guess, I mean, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for tuning in and everything. And you know, thanks to Peter for having me on the show and featuring me, because it's a pleasure. Always a pleasure talking, hanging out with you, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. And then join me on the next one. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.